Fuck! Fuck! Fuck!
Oh, you stupid motherfucker!
You're gonna find me dead! I'm gonna kill myself!
Hit the fucking guy! What the fuck is he doing?
I'm gonna be hanging from the bathroom!
They got the
Don't ask me to do nothing! This is not...
Hello, and welcome back to another episode of the Steel Here podcast, where I'm your host, Kevin Adams, alongside my partner in crime, Jersey Jerry. And it was a shitty week to be a Steelers fan, Jer. How'd you feel about the game on Sunday, man?
Yeah, man. It was a tough week. A lot of stuff didn't go our way. A lot of balls didn't bounce our way. A lot of bad decisions, bad play calling. It was tough. I felt like my overall view of the game was the defense did their job. They did do enough to win. I seen a couple Steelers fans on Twitter. Oh, the defense sucks. They let up all these yards. What do you expect them to do when they're on the field 24/7? Okay, they're tired. Their offense is going 3 and out. What the fuck do you want them to do? In my opinion, they held the Patriots to 10 points. Because if it wasn't for the gunner muffed punt, which they got 7 on, you're looking at the Patriots scoring 10 points the whole game. That's very, very good in today's NFL. Very good. If your offense can't put up more than 10 points, you deserve to lose the game, which they did.
Yep. That's the truth too. And a lot of it comes back to what we've talked about is the defense is going to keep us in it. It's going to come down to the offense and the special teams to not kill us. And so for the defense to give up 10 points, like you said, now, they were on the field over 70% of the game. I mean, they're going to give up fucking yards, but the yards don't mean shit. If points don't go on the board, you don't lose a game because a team has 1,000 fucking yards. You lose a game because you gave up more points because, Gunner muffs a punt. He muffs a punt at the 20 and there was a penalty. So then they get the ball at the 10-yard line. You can't expect the defense to stop every drive.
There was people tweeting like, oh, the last drive of the game cost them the game. The Steelers, the last drive of the game, how did that cost them? What about the other 30 drives where the Patriots didn't score? You know what I mean? Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
Come on.
No,
That's not the reason they lost.
No, not at all. And if you blame the defense for not being able to get off the field on the very last drive of the game, it was a long drive. I think they ate up 6 minutes of clock. It broke my fucking heart to lose that way. We didn't even get a chance to go back down the field. Yeah. Not that it really probably would have mattered given how we looked on offense, but you can't blame the defense. They were on the field all day. It was hot as hell out there. I mean, you can't blame. They were probably gassed. What else do you want from them? They didn't get any help from the offense, and it leads us into Mitch Trubisky might be a problem. He might be a legitimate problem for us. He didn't see the field well at all. I mean, he had guys, again, wide ass open. You had George Pickens several times, wide ass open down the field, and he's just not finding the guys. I mean, I don't know what else we can do if he's not going to throw the ball beyond the first down marker on 3rd and 8, 3rd and 7, and he's throwing 2-yard dump offs because he looked at his first route. It wasn't there. He gets out of the pocket. He throws a dump off. We're not going to win football games that way. We're not good enough. There's no fucking way that's going to be our offense again. How many years in a row, man?
Yeah, I mean, I think Alex, he put out something like Mitch has 71 completions in his first 2 games or something like that, or 71 attempts. I don't know. And like,
71
I think
attempts.
a lot of them were behind the line of scrimmage. Like, that's kind of tough, man. You can't. And then, listen, you read the blog I wrote yesterday. I wrote a blog, and this is exactly what I said. The Steelers will need a spark soon if they keep it up. They will. That's 100% factual.
Yep.
I thought Mitch played a C- game. He had a turnover, which hurt a little bit, but if this continues, the Steelers are going to need a spark. It's gonna be tough, man. One thing I didn't agree with in the blog that I wrote was we're down by 3 points at the end of a game, And I know the fans are frustrated. I know that. The stadium's booing, the Kenny chants.
Yep.
I get it. They want Kenny in there. We're down 3 points, man. It's probably tough as a quarterback to get out on the field and you hear this stuff, which, listen, should they have booed? Probably, but I'm sure it's tough on Mitch's end. Listen, we're 2 weeks into the season. It's a long season. Mitch is going to go out there Thursday night, and I'm at the point where it's, if you can't get it done, if this offense can't get it done with Mitch, something's got to change. Something's got to change because the boos are going to get louder. The Kenny chants are going to get louder. And if Mike Tomlin rides this long into the season, it will be a long season.
Yep. Yeah, and it's I think fans are booing because this is the same shit we've seen through 2 offensive coordinators now. This dates back to Randy Feitner. We haven't used the middle of the field in fucking God knows how long. I mean, we don't attack the middle of the football field. It's insane how awful the Steelers are at using the middle of the field. And it's become a thing that every defense now says, fuck it, all we have to do is keep them outside of the hashes. They're not throwing across the middle. They won't use that part of the field. So it makes us so much easier to defend. So when the fans sit in that stadium and we have to watch the same dog shit type of short of the sticks, don't attack the middle of the field, don't push the ball downfield, I get it. I was not in on the booing. I don't support that, especially this young in Mitch's career here in Pittsburgh. I'm never going to be that type of fan right now. But you can't blame the fans. I mean, this is years of frustration with the same type of shit. And it leads me to, at some point, we have to start asking questions of Mike Tomlin, only in the sense that he is the one employing these guys. This is, again, it goes back to Randy Feitner. Tomlin and Feitner were buddies. They were buddies from way back many years ago. So he gets him into the NFL. Feitner was not a great offensive coordinator. He was dog shit. Everybody knows it. And yet we're seeing the same thing from Matt Canada. And, I think the thing that pisses most fans off is that we were told last year it was because Ben couldn't do it. Ben couldn't be what Matt Canada needed him to be. He wasn't mobile. Ben didn't like to attack the middle of the field, at the end of his career. And it was always excuses that Matt Canada needed a different type of player, or we needed Ben didn't like to handle what Matt Canada wanted to give us. Okay, fine. But then why the fuck does it look identical yet again this season when Matt Canada was ill-equipped last year? And the one thing that I want anybody who listens to this to understand, last year, the Steelers' offense sucked the first 3 quarters. It was terrible. There's a reason that 7 led the league in game-winning drives last year. Because what did he do? After about 10 minutes left in the 4th quarter, Ben just went out of his way and said, fuck whatever's being called. And the players came out. You heard Claypool say it last year, that Ben started drawing up plays in the dirt. And what did it do? We won games. The offense was electric in the 4th quarter last year. We lost games last year. We also made comebacks against the Vikings and the Chargers, where Ben scored 21 and I want to say 28.
Where we lost those games, where we came all the way back.
Right. And we came back whenever Canada had less a handle on the play calling. There's a wild statistic that takes me to where Matt Canada is a problem. The Steelers haven't scored an offensive touchdown in the first quarter since the Lions tie. That's 11 games in a row. And if you consider that those are the most scripted plays that you're going to get, those are supposed to be the best plays that you have to offer. You should march down the field on your opening drive. That's when you should dominate. We're not doing it. Who does that fall on? Who does that fall on?
Falls on him. This guy. I mean, you're better off at Jersey Jerry and Kevin heading out there with a Madden play sheet and calling the plays at this point. This is dude. It's bad. And okay, when you got Deontay, when you got Chase, when you got Mitch criticizing the offensive coordinator, this guy better step it the fuck up. I know the Steelers haven't made a move in the middle of the season firing a coordinator, but they should look into it. And I think they have to do a better job, especially Tomlin. You don't have to promote everybody from within. You don't have to do that. There's no law that says, okay, you're working for the Steelers, we're going to promote you to offensive coordinator because you're already in the system. You don't need to do that. You can go outside and look. You know what I mean? Listen, is there great options out there right now? Probably not. It's probably very, very minimal. But I mean, I don't know how long this is going to last. But at the end of the season, I don't give a fuck what the Steelers' record is. Get this guy the fuck out of town. Get him the fuck out. He's dog shit, bro.
Terrible. And everybody could see it last year. But we made the excuses. He needs another year, whatever. We're through 2 weeks. Nothing's changing. So, and here's my whole thing about it. Why wait the whole fucking year? Why wait the entire season? If this is a mix of both Mitch and Canada, and this is where I'm so torn on it, because did Mitch miss some wide open players? Absolutely. He absolutely missed wide open players. And was Najee good? No, Najee was not good. Yet again, Najee is mixed. He's missing holes. This guy is missing wide open lanes. He's predetermined where he wants to run. He's not hitting the holes. And what were we hearing early? It must be the line. The line must be the problem. The line's not the fucking problem, Jerry.
No. Yes. Lions played great over 2 games. They played really good. I think every sack has been Mitch Trubisky's fault, where he doesn't get rid of the ball. Najee is probably so programmed from last year of just can't even see where the holes are because there was none last year, that he's just running into the linemen. That, I seen a play that somebody tweeted out, but the hole was so big. He probably missed it because he's just so programmed just to running into nowhere.
Right. And that's a problem, because what would we say earlier in the season, that the Steelers' best chance of winning was going to be Najee playing well. And if the line played well and Najee played well, it was going to be great for us. But Najee's his game has been below the line, and I don't want to bury on him. I'm not going to attack the guy because he has done good things for us, but it's okay to say that he hasn't been great so far to start the season, and it has hurt.
That's our job. That's our job. I mean, listen, he hasn't played great. Hopefully he can bounce back. I don't know if it's a foot issue still. Maybe he's not seeing the holes. I don't know, but I think the offensive line has done their job. I really, really do. They've been stepping up to the plate, and they should get some credit because, a lot of us out there who follow the Steelers, who are fans of the Steelers, said coming into the year, this offensive line is terrible. They're not going to be good probably. They've stepped it up. They really, really have stepped it up. So I commend them for that. But hey, the only good thing to come out of last week come out of Sunday was the Browns losing, was the Ravens and the Bengals. That was the only good thing to come out of it. Only good thing. We got essentially a free week, Yeah,
but which is a shame, because those are the games where if the Steelers would win, they'd really start to position themselves in better shape moving forward.
Exactly.
And the Patriots aren't a good football team. They're not the Patriots of Tom Brady of old. We could have won that football game. We should have won that football game. I mean, honestly, we should have won that game. That's why those ones hurt. As a fan, those ones fucking sting. And you said that the line has played better, and they have been, we talk shit on them early, but they've bounced back, and they have. If you look at the statistics, I don't put a ton of weight into PFF, but Dan Moore ranked 45 out of 66. Dotson, 18 out of 70. Mason Cole, 20 out of 36. James Daniels, 18 out of 70. And Chuck's 4 out of 66. This isn't a line problem. It's not a line problem.
No. So I think Mitch said something as well. Did you hear what he said? I think yesterday, or maybe it was today or the day before, somebody asked him if he had the option to audible out of plays if he didn't like what he saw, and he said not really. That's a problem.
That was today. That was a couple hours ago.
That's a problem. That's a problem. You're the starting quarterback. You go out there and you see something you don't like. Fuck what that motherfucker Matt Canada has to say. Fuck him. Play your game. And Mitch has played good up tempo. He's played good up tempo. So they should consider playing some up tempo football, man.
Well, that was the only drive that he looked legitimate again. I mean, we were moving the ball fast. He was pushing it beyond the sticks. He was 15-yard routes he was throwing. I mean, stuff that we weren't seeing at all prior to that point. He looked the most at home in those moments. And the players are getting pissed. I mean, you're going to hear this is what DJ said. We have to call the right plays to get down the field the right ways. Chase said, we can only do what they tell us to do and execute it. And Mitch said, we got to call concepts that get the receivers there. I mean, that's the loudest thing. They're not blatantly saying it's Matt Canada, but it's Matt fucking Canada is what they're saying.
Exactly.
And
exactly.
Can't do it again. And if it's not Matt Canada, then fine. If it's not Matt Canada, then you have to bring Kenny in, because there is no fucking point in letting Kenny sit whenever everything we heard was he's NFL ready right now. He's NFL ready day one. He's good to go. He looked great in the preseason. So if this is the case and we're going to suck, or we're going to have to ride a shitty storm through Matt Canada, I would rather give Kenny Pickett the experience than burn the year on Mitch Trubisky if Mitch Trubisky is not going to be the future. So I'm fine with one more game here. We ride Mitch Trubisky. He goes into a hostile Cleveland. He gets a chance to redeem himself. If he is the one reason why we do not win the game, as it looked again on Sunday against the Patriots, if it looks that way again and the defense does their part and the special teams holds up their end of the bargain and it comes back to bad quarterback play, the leash is getting shorter. And if we're going to put Kenny in, there's not a better time until the bye week. There's not a better time to play Kenny Pickett than against a not a very good Jets team, and on a 10 days off before you play them. So Thursday's game is going to be telling for the future of both Kenny and Mitch. In my opinion.
I agree. The game against the Browns is going to tell you everything you need to know. It's going to tell you who the starting quarterbacks moving forward is going to be. It's going to tell you what type of season this season's going to be. Because I'll tell you what, Cleveland's going to come out. They're going to come out very, very mad after losing that game against the Jets. They're going to be pissed. They're at home. Browns should be 2-0. I'll say it. They should be 2-0. They should have never lost that game against the Jets. They're going to come out pissed. They're going to hand the rock to fucking Nick Chubb and Kareem Hunt and say, fucking beat us. Fucking beat us. We're going to fucking tear you up on the ground, and let's see what the fuck your offense can do when your defense is on the field for more than half the game. And if that's the case, you better step up, Matt Canada. You better step up, Mitch. You better find George Pickens. Because if not, it's going to be a long fucking night.
And the scary thing about Thursday's game to me, it comes to, if this is when we should beat the Browns. Deshaun Watson will be back the next time we play them. And I'm not fucking saying Deshaun Watson is God, but he's definitely better than Jacoby Brissett. If we can't beat the Browns with Jacoby Brissett, this comes back to what we said. You got to hope you split in the AFC North, and you're in it. You have a chance to do it, because teams are going to lose games they shouldn't lose. That's the NFL and any given Sunday. We need to win on Thursday night. We need to win that game. Take the one in Cleveland. You're going to have a much more difficult game towards the end of the season when the Browns come back to town for the last game of the year. So you really need to win this game on Thursday, and I don't care what it's going to take. I literally do not care how you fucking get it done, how ugly it has to look. You've got to go into Cleveland, and you have to beat the Browns. And in order to do that, Jerry, we're going to have to run the ball, and we're going to have to be able to stop the run, and we're going to have to stop the run, and that's what it comes down to.
Oh, they're gonna feed Nick Chubb. They are gonna feed him. Listen, he's an animal. He's a fucking tough tackle. He's got speed when he gets out in the open. He makes people miss. He doesn't fucking get tired. He's just a workhorse, man. So it's gonna be. They got their hands full this week. I'll tell you that much. I don't give a fuck that Jacoby Brissett's the quarterback. They got their hands full. Browns D line. They get to the quarterback. They get to the quarterback. So. The offense has to perform, man. I look at it this way. I think if the Steelers can put up 21 points, they could win this game. The offense has to score 3 touchdowns. You can't go 2 games into the year scoring 2 touchdowns. You can't. You gotta score multiple touchdowns a game. You have to. That's what the good teams do. That's what the Chiefs do. That's what the Eagles do. That's what the Dolphins do. That's what the Ravens do. That's what the fucking Lions do. The Lions score more than a touchdown in the game. You know what I mean? Like, you got to look at this team and be like, what the fuck? What the fuck? Jared Goff's throwing for 300 yards. Why can't we?
Cooper Rush of the Cowboys. He threw the ball all over the field. So I mean, it's is Mitch Trubisky more talented than Cooper Rush? Yeah, I would bet my fucking life that he is. So then again, it comes back to, where does it fall? It's equal parts Matt Canada and Mitch Trubisky, and honestly, I would say it's more Canada, simply because it was a lot of the same shit we saw last year, and Mitch Trubisky was not the quarterback then. So in my opinion, if I'm scapegoating one of these two guys, it has to be Matt Canada over Mitch Trubisky. And also, I just don't. would like to see Mitch Trubisky get, at least a fair fucking shake at it. I understand Pickett, it is in the wings and everyone wants him, but let's at least give the guy a chance. We all know that the offensive coordinator is not good. So as a fan, as the fans hear this, if we can back it down just a hair on the criticism of Trubisky until we fully can scapegoat him whenever the plays are there and he's just sucking at it.
This is a perfect opportunity for Mitch to come out there, move the ball down the field, and say, you know what, fucking all the Steelers fans, I'm here to fucking stay. I'm here to fucking stay. I'm here to win football games. He has to come out and do this thing, man, because he doesn't come out and do this thing, I can guarantee you those boos are going to be so loud. Those Kenny chants are going to be so loud. Tomlin, he might have to make a move in game if it's that bad. He might have to say to himself, holy shit, this is a mess. This is a mess. This team needs a spark. We can't start 1-2. We can't do that. We can't afford to lose these games we're supposed to win.
Can we win this game?
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. I think
that's really what it comes down to in my mind is, can we win this game, and how does it look in game? And does Mike Tomlin at some point say, all right, we need the spark, like you're saying, and then they put Kenny in? But I would be shocked if that's a Tomlin move, because that's really not Tomlin's style.
I know.
To throw him in there in that type of environment, but it all depends on how the game flow goes, So
I got a question for you.
If it goes that way, great.
I got a question for you. Thursday night football comes around. Defense keeps us in the game. Halftime comes. We still haven't moved the ball down the field. We're losing the game 10-3 or 14-3. What happens in the second half? Do you think Tomlin says, "Fuck this shit, Kenny, you're going out there"?
I think
gun
it's
to your
going to
head. What
depend
do you
on
think?
if. No, I'd say no. I would say I don't think Tomlin does that in game. I think if he's going to make the move, he's going to eat the bullet during that game, and then he's going to throw Kenny out there against the Jets. Mike Tomlin's not the type that and shit. Look at what Tomlin said in his interview. I don't think significant change is required. It's early in the year, and we're going to be patient. Mike Tomlin is going to ride the patient thing. He's going to use all his little cliches, paint the barn red. The standard is the standard. The problem is the standard has sucked. The standard on offense has fucking sucked for a while now. So at some point, I really hope he looks in the mirror and says, we can't keep doing the same shit and expecting a different result. So would I be absolutely shocked if he did that? Yeah, I'd be pretty shocked. Now he has done it. I mean, he did it a few years ago when it was the Mason Rudolph and Duck Hodges.
Yes.
Yeah, he benched him, at some point, and then Duck came in and throws a laser down the field. James Washington takes the ball to the house, and everything erupts into pandemonium, and Duck Hodges mania started. But I just don't see Tomlin doing it with our future franchise quarterback. That's a very tough ask of him to throw that guy out there in Cleveland in a hostile environment. Now, if the line's playing well and the running game is there and the defense is playing well and we're just losing because Mitch Trubisky is terrible, I mean, I'm sure he's thinking about entertaining it. But no, I think if anything, we'd give him the 10 days before the Jets game. It leads me to the tweet of the week that I have, and it comes back to Najee, because if the Steelers are going to win, if you want to make Mitch better,
I didn't see
this tweet is Trey Essex. He played line for the Steelers some years ago. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, I remember him. He follows me on Instagram, I think. Yeah, he follows me on Twitter.
Lineman. Yeah. He tweeted, I had to watch it again to make sure I wasn't tripping. This was the first play of the game. It is blocked almost to perfection. Look at the interior push. There is no read here that tells Najee to bounce it. He predetermined this. Man, it angers me so much. And we'll make sure the clip gets posted so you can see the tweet that I'm talking about. I mean,
see it
he
right
had
now.
A monster. It's a 5-yard gain at a minimum, and he instantly gets the ball and bounces it to the outside where Freiermuth sealed the edge. All he had to do was take it right up the middle, and we're good. And it's just he's not seeing the field well. Mitch isn't seeing the field well. It's just a lot of frustration. It's frustration for the players. I'm sure it's frustration for the fans. But to blame it on the line is shameful, and we can't do that. So I would really like to see a bounce back where we just impose our will. The way that the Patriots pounded us the last 6 minutes of the game and just ran it down our throats, we were powerless. I love that style of football. It's boring. I don't give a shit about that. That's how you win games. That's how you closing games out. We need Najee to be able to do that. And if Najee can't do it, then give me Jaylen Warren. At this point, give me Jaylen Warren until Najee does get his head right. He can see things better, whatever it takes. But you can't be letting the line make crazy holes and just not seeing them. It's just unacceptable.
I know.
Where are you at? What do you see on your tweet of the week?
My tweet is from actually last night. Vince Williams put out a tweet. He said, Steelers fans are just spoiled. We truly don't know what bad is. Like, imagine being a Browns fan. I agree with this, right? But at the same time, there's no reason for us to be bad with the talent we have. Why should us fans not get upset that our team is stinking it up, especially on the offensive side of the football, with all the talent? Okay, we don't need to be bad. We don't deserve to be bad. Sure, it's tough for us because we're used to winning football games. We're definitely, as of late, not used to winning AFC championship games, Super Bowls. We haven't had that in a while. But okay, I get your tweet. I get what you're saying, but there's no reason for us to be bad. There's just zero reason for us to be bad. With all the talent they have, the highest paid defense in the league.
Loaded.
Yeah, Pro Bowlers all over the place. I mean, I don't know, man. I don't know. That tweet stuck out to me, though, because I felt like, yes, it was true, but at the same time, we don't need to go down to the Browns level with all the miserable seasons they had. There's no need for it. So, I don't know.
No. Well, and also keep it in perspective. Yeah, the Browns have sucked. They've sucked for many years, but they have more playoff wins than we do in the last 5 years. And not only that, they beat us. That is the team that fucking sent us home out of one playoff game. So, I get it. I hear Vinny. I do think that Steelers fans are spoiled. But if you think we've been around 500 the last however many years, but we're not winning titles, then what? I'd rather fucking lose then. If you're not winning, if you're not going to win the ultimate goal is to win the Super Bowl. That is the ultimate goal. Everything else, you failed. You failed. If you don't get there, you failed. 31 other teams fail every single year. Yeah. We're not even getting close though. Like, we're not getting fucking close. So yeah, I get it. I hear him. It could be worse. We could have losing teams, but if you lose, we're all losers. 31 of us are losers. So I would fucking love to get at least back in contention to where we're getting to beyond the wild card round, to getting into the divisional round, an AFC championship again. Yeah. And in order to do that, you have to fix the things that we're failing at perennially. And that is offensive play calling, scoring the ball. The Steelers are nearly dead last in every offensive statistical category. There's only one quarterback with less passing yards than Mitch Trubisky. And if you remember, the Steelers played basically one quarter more football than a lot of other teams because of the whole overtime game in Cincinnati. Who do you think that quarterback is that has less passing yards, Jerry? You love this guy. Who do you think it is?
I would say Justin Fields.
It is. It's Justin Fields. I mean, if we're comparing Mitch Trubisky, in the Steelers' weapons to Justin Fields, who doesn't really have a ton of weapons and he's just not that great, that's not good. That sucks as a Steelers fan, man. No. It's disappointing. One thing that wasn't disappointing from Sunday would have been my all-heart player of the week, and he saved the Steelers from getting gashed several times. Special teams guy, it's Miles Boykin.
Yes.
Presley Harvin punted the shit out of the ball on Sunday. He punted the piss out of that thing. He had a 60-yarder. He had a couple high 50-yarders. I mean, he pounded the ball, and he pounded it so well that we didn't do anything with it. The one we got fucking hosed on. That opening punt of the game, we got fucked. That guy, that is a muffed punt. It goes into the end zone. It benefited them. That's one of the rules in the NFL they have to figure out, because if he caught the ball, fair catches it, they have the ball at like the 5. But because he muffs the fucking thing into the end zone, it counts as a touchback. They get the ball at the 20. Kiss my ass. How the fuck does that work? He muffed in play into the end zone. It should have been a safety. That's a safety. Or if nothing else, they take the ball back at the 5. But nonetheless, when we did pound the ball down the field, Miles Boykin, he made 2 game-breaking tackles. I mean, if you're going to be a guy that is a fringe wide receiver, you're not going to get a ton of looks on the offense, but you're on the team because of your special teams play, then you better show out. And the whole special teams runs down the field. They can't make a stop, and Miles Boykin made 2 touchdown-saving tackles that kept the Steelers in it. Now, granted, it looked bad for Harvin because he didn't net quite as many yards on his punts, but if you don't have Miles Boykin there, those are at least one of those is going to the house. So. Yeah. It sucks. That's one thing. We can't lose a special teams battle. We cannot. We're not good enough to lose a special teams battle. So for Gunner to lose the special teams battle, and then for this to happen, those things hurt the Steelers. We're not going to be able to win a lot of games that way. But Miles Boykin shined. And so for that, he's my all-heart player of the week this week. There wasn't really a whole lot else of all-heart that we could have chosen across the board anyway.
I know.
Mean, it's really not like anybody shined a whole lot. So
I know. I'm just going to go
I can't wait
with,
to hear who you have to be.
I'm going to say Deontay Johnson. I mean, listen, he just catches everything. I mean, he does a great job of getting separation. He's there when we needed a play, which we needed a lot of plays, and he bailed us out of some third downs. He just gets open, man, and he makes great catches. I like him a lot, man. He's a great player, and you can just tell how frustrated he is. I mean, he's catching most of the passes, and he still wants the ball more because he knows like he's better than whoever he's going up against. And I'm so happy we got him for the next year or so, 2 years. I love him, man. I think he's a very, very underrated receiver in the NFL. I think he showed up to every single game so far. Showed up again. He's like I said, he's great at getting separation. He's great at catching the ball in traffic. I'm going to go with him.
2-point conversion. He laid out for that 2-point conversion in the corner. I mean, he laid out for that thing.
Yeah, back-to-back weeks with just incredible catches. Like when he caught that 2-point conversion and listen, that was a very, very good ball from Mitch. I said to myself that there's no way that's a catch. It has to be out of bounds. His arm has to be out of bounds. Sure enough, he's in bounds. I was like, wow, he's great.
And that's one of those things that's frustrating is because Mitch has that throw. He has that in his bag. That ball could only go one place, and it had to be a beautiful play from both guys involved. It had to be an insane dive out, layout catch between Deontay Johnson, and it had to be a great placement on the ball from Mitch. And both were flawless. And when I love seeing that, that's beautiful football to me because there's nothing the defender could have done. There's nothing he could have done. It was just a beautiful play on both ends. Yeah. And you're right. Deontay Johnson has carried the offense. He has carried the offense through 2 games. That's why I would like to see a guy like George Pickens get some fucking looks out there. Pickens' only catch from Sunday was insane, though. I don't know if you saw it. It was basically directly over his head, right sideline. Insane catch. The guy's getting open. He's getting frustrated. He's got to be getting frustrated out there.
I mentioned this to somebody last night. If us Steelers fans, we know who George Pickens is. This guy's a ticking time bomb. This guy, Pickens, he's a loose cannon. I wouldn't put it past him to snap on Thursday night if he's not getting the ball. This guy's crazy. I want him to see the ball. I think he's an excellent player. I think he deserves the ball. I think he deserves to get looked at when he's a 6'4" wide receiver who runs a 4.4, 4.5 that has incredible wingspan that can probably catch anything that's close to him. We've seen it all camp. This guy, I wouldn't put it past him. He's got to be on edge right now. He's got to be thinking to himself, what the fuck is going on? I need the ball. Give me a shot. Throw it up. Do something.
Especially because all preseason, we watched him dominate the Steelers defense. And after 2 games, we know that the Steelers defense is pretty fucking good. They're pretty damn good. So to see him light up Minka twice he lights up Minka.
Talk shit to the whole defense.
Right. He's a bad boy. How is he not involved in this offense? How is he not getting more looks than he is? Again, that comes back to Matt Canada and the play calling, or it comes back to Mitch Trubisky not finding him. Whatever one of those two has to figure it out, it has to be figured out soon because that guy is way too fucking talented to not be on the field. Because essentially, you know what that is showing us? That the Steelers' first-round draft pick, Kenny Pickett's not on the field right now, okay? Their second-round draft pick played 97% of the snaps on Sunday, and he had 1 catch.
Yeah.
What the fuck are we doing?
Yeah.
That's unacceptable. That's not good football.
I
It's
know.
frustrating as hell to see that, man. Which leads me into, we know what we're going to have to do to beat the Browns. It's going to have to be better offensive coordinator. It's going to have to be better Mitch Trubisky, and we're going to have to control the run game. We're going to have to do better in the run game, but we're going to have to stop their run. Our run defense on Sunday was not great. It was not great. We know all of those things. Everybody watching it, it's early in the year. We know what the Steelers are good at, what they're not good at right now. If we can make those things better for Thursday night, we can get out of there with a win. We can take the 10 days, reassess. We can get to the Jets game. Having said all of that, and especially saying it about George Pickens, it leads me to what my bet this week is going to be. Let's recap last week. I lost again. I'm 0-2 this season. If I lose one more, you guys are better off just fading my picks.
I lost two, right? I had Claypool to score.
You had Claypool anytime touchdown score. I had Steelers money line and that line kept shifting, and I'm texting you all weekend. I'm like, the line is shifting more and more away from the Steelers. Like, this is not good. This is bad news. Vegas knows something. They don't mess that stuff up. But this week, I'm pretty confident in this pick, especially because just today, Trubisky was asked about getting George Pickens involved, and he said we have to try and figure out a way to get 14 more involved. He's open out there. I want to try and get him the ball. So my bet this week is George Pickens over 30.5 receiving yards, I believe it is.
Nice.
Let me take a look here. But yeah, that to me, George Pickens is going to start to be involved. If they're making comments like that, if Trubisky is making comments like that, it's in his mind. During the game, he's going to be looking for him, especially when they rewatch the All 11, they re-see the film, they see that the guy's wide open down the field. They're going to start looking for him, in my opinion. What do you have as far as bets this week?
I'm gonna go with. It's very hard not to take this, because I don't think the Steelers are should be anywhere close to plus 4.5 point underdogs. I think it should be kind of like a +1, +1.5, maybe a pick 'em. I don't know. Cleveland's home, crowd's gonna be wild. But I'm gonna take the Steelers plus 4.5. I'm gonna give them another chance. I think they could cut, and I think, listen, if they lose the game, I really don't see them getting blown out. I don't see them, losing by like a touchdown or more than that, or 10 points, whatever. But I think
Browns
they can cover the 4.5 if they lose. I think you'll see a kind of similar game to last week. Both defenses probably will play well. Just going to be up to the offense, Just going to be up to the offense. So that's my pick of the week right there. And then after the Browns, Kev, we got I'll be coming to town. I'll be coming to the Jets game. So I'll see all you guys at the tailgate for that. I'm excited for it. Really excited. We might not definite yet. We might be able to get on the field for that one as well as the Dolphins.
Oh, that'll be nice. Yeah, Jerry just informed me today we got some field passes for the Dolphins Sunday night football game. He's coming to town, so he'll be at the terrible tailgate. So I just want to let you guys know, because it's in the comments. A lot of people in the YouTube comments are asking, what's your increment when we bet, Jerry? Like, what are you? Mine's $100. I put $100 on all these games. Yeah. Sometimes when I'm dicking around, I'll put $300-400 on it. I've lost a couple of those this year, so that stings. But my normal increment is $100.
Yeah, I usually I'm a nickel and dime guy, so I kind of do what I usually do every week is I'll put in like a $500 4-teamer, $500 6-teamer. I mean, you've seen it a couple weeks ago. I had a $1,000 6-teamer. So I'm a nickel, and if I'm doing a game straight up, like if I have no other action for the day and I'm just picking one game that I love, I'll probably put like 1,500 on it. It all depends, you know what I mean? Not that I'm saying people who bet smaller than me are worse than me, Right. It just means when I bet, I lose more money than you.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah. So if you guys are interested in doing any of the betting, there are a ton of hot tips on the Barstool Sportsbook app this week. So I highly encourage you guys to get that downloaded and check it out. They're giving away, there's like probably 15 betting stats and trends on here that you guys should take a look at. On the season, Jerry is 1-1 as far as bets. I am 0-2. So he is one up on me on the season standings. Again, to recap, I am taking George Pickens over 30.5 receiving yards. Jerry is taking the Steelers plus the 4.5. We appreciate you guys listening in again. It's going to be it's obviously a short week for us. We're going to record again on Friday after the game Thursday night. And then we'll try and get that out to you Saturday. But yeah, Jerry will be in town for the Terrible Tailgate. If you guys want to get tickets, you can find them on my Twitter. You can find them on the Terrible Tailgate Twitter. And we'll see you guys here again then recording on Friday. We'll talk to you again Saturday, and then we'll see you again next week.
We're here. We're still here.
We are still here.